Oneyplays! With friends.
Why are you in box-shaped rooms?
It's a heart-shaped box.
Oh,
That's a good Nirvana reference.
Little Nirvana reference for you.
Do you think Kurt Cobain would have been a fan of Kingdom Hearts?
I love every time I see like a 17-year-old girl walking around with a Nirvana shirt on that she got at Hot Topic.
Why'd you make fun of my shirts?
No, I really do. I love it. It gets me horny.
I said, do you know what that funny face is? And she goes, oh yeah, it's the intoxicated man, right?
It's an emoji.
Kurt Cobain, more like Kurt No Brain.
That's silly drunk face, right? That's right.
Oh no, this one's better.
We should get together.
This one's better. Kurt Cobain, more like Spurt No Brains.
Chris.
Kurt Cobain,
Are you
more like...
implying that he came when he died?
Shut up, Julian.
Why are there no pictures of it online?
Kurt Cobain, more like... my brain.
That's a little better.
Shit.
Played by Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen playing Kurt Cobain in a movie.
So,
well, he wouldn't just say shit my brain. He'd say, oh shit, my fucking brain! My fucking brain is on the fucking floor!
Fuck! I blew my brains out!
I came on my fucking...
It's all next to my weed!
My cum-covered brain is on the cum-covered floor!
I got my brains on my
brain is
weed!
cum-covered fucking fuck cum!
My wife Courtney probably did it, but I can't tell anymore because I'm dead! Shit! My brain!
He drank a root beer right before he did it, actually.
James Franco's my wife!
Why did you pull up that clip of Sausage Party? It was just reminding me of how fucking... the writing they would do that. It was, you gotta give extra emphasis because it's like, well, where the fuck do we take this? So he says, oh, you guys are fucking dickheads with cum all over. Cum! There's cum! There's cum all over you!
Blinding you, cum in your face!
Because you're jerking off and there's cum!
What are you talking about?
Your cum covered jerked off!
Was this in Sausage Party?
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Shit even goes down. It's like right before shit
It's
goes down.
when the jar of mayonnaise or whatever is like freaking out.
He's like, oh, the humans.
And it's like over animated.
They're coming in our faces. They're rubbing cum.
yeah, I remember that.
He says it like 20 times in a row because it's like, oh, well...
Repetition is funny. And cum is funny.
It's a cartoon saying the word cum. Can we do that a few more?
It's funny because it looks like it'd be for kids, but it's not, and they're saying things like "come on my face," and they're smoking marijuana. And it was really funny. I like when they're smoking pot in the movie.
I can't believe they started the movie with a fucking curse word. I wanted them to build into it.
I mean, I read this. That too, I saw a video and someone was saying like, it's actually a lot different from the original leaked script. No, it wasn't. I even remember when we were watching it, I mentioned that moments that happened were off the script, and I brought up the used condom thing before we even went in that I knew that happened, and it happened.
No, you brought up, you made some good predictions too, and they all came true. I don't remember. We
were making bad jokes, and all of them ended up in the movie. We ended up not really spoiling, but we came up with half the movie before we saw it.
Come!
I get it!
A long time ago, I liked the Facebook page for the movie The Interview, and I forget you like that shit because they don't ever post. But the other day they posted like, "Thirsty for another Seth Rogen movie?" and it was just a promo for Sausage Party on Blu-ray and DVD.
Now, if they put Kim Jong-un in Sausage Party, more people maybe would want to see.
Yeah, maybe North Korea would threaten over that movie.
What kind of food would
and
he
Kim
be?
Jong-un would say, "I am not a hot dog."
What would he be?
A piece of shit.
Be a little pumpkin, probably.
Would it be kimchi Jong-un?
Whoa, that's yeah. He'd be a big jar of kimchi. I really like kimchi actually. I didn't until like a couple months ago.
What I like his curry house. It was very good.
Curry house is incredible. Okay, no joke, guys. I was in Little Tokyo one time. Right next.
There's a lot of Japanese people.
Right next. Yeah, there were quite a few. Right next to Curry House. No, I didn't. Okay. Right next to Curry House, in the same shopping center, I saw a guy wearing a shirt with Ron from your Harry Potter cartoon.
Really?
Chris, I sent you videos of it.
It was a homeless man.
I sent you zoomed-in grainy videos of it.
It was a homeless man. He said, "This is my only shirt.
I found it in the trash. I've been searching my whole life for this animator.
Someone shot in it and wrapped it up in the shirt to protect me from the smell.
I'm on a quest from God to find who drew this funny shirt, and I want to call him a Freezy Pop."
There's also a musical venue called The Smell, and they're going to be closing soon because they're demolishing everything on that block.
Because it smells.
How come there's a store in LA called Egg Slut?
Oh, it's not open.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been in there. What is it?
Ryan talks nonstop about it.
I assume it's like breakfast,
It's a breakfast place, and he says it's the best breakfast he's had in his entire life. So I'm excited to try it.
Because it's all female waitresses, and they're the egg sluts.
They shoot the eggs out of their ovaries onto the plate. You ever thrown up on an airplane?
Nope.
Sucks.
You ever thrown up on the pilot of an airplane?
You ever run into the
sucks.
cockpit and puked all over his lap and said,
I still remember when they would let people in the cockpit just to check it out.
Can't do it now.
They let me fly the plane when I was a little boy. I remember my dad took me in the cockpit when I was a kid. He's not a pilot. I wanted to see it, and they let me in just to like check it out.
Did you get the little pin?
I did.
The like junior pilot thing or whatever?
He was showing you around, you got really bored, so he started spitting in his eyes while he's flying.
He started watching. The co-pilot was watching Oneyplays on his phone.
He said, here's my cock, kid, and then you sat on it.
What?
Chris?
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
It sucks because never again in my life will I be able to like look out the front of a flying airplane.
Blame Osama.
You fucking Osama. You know, I don't believe he's dead until I see some pictures. That's the thing.
I have him on Snapchat.
You have Osama on Snapchat?
Yeah, his official Snapchat.
He sends me snaps every Friday.
From his cave.
He's just like making little sandcastles and putting rocks on top of it. He says, look at this one. It's the Twin Towers.
He throws rocks into it. You think when Osama was a baby, his mom fed him with like the "Here comes the airplane" thing?
I wish we had like
A better game.
Osama DNA to play with.
What?
If in the future there's like stores where you can buy like, oh, Osama DNA or Hitler DNA.
Why?
You can grow a little tiny version of it in a petri
One
dish.
punch Osama. Make like the perfect
you-
Osama that
You could have cute little like water
It's like
Hitlers.
it's brine shrimp, but they're implanted with their DNA.
Yeah. So you'd
These
have
brine
little...
shrimp have Osama bin Laden's DNA in them.
You tell me if you didn't have a little cute clone of Osama, you wouldn't fuck with him.
Why are you calling him Osama?
Osama?
Osama in the highest.
Why are you calling him
Jose.
Why can't I?
Osama.
You're supposed to sit in the chairs, but it's not
Osama.
Hey, Julian,
Yeah.
if you had a tiny little teeny tiny clone of Osama,
Osama?
would you
Sounds
feel
like a Japanese last name.
would you feel bad about torturing it?
Osama is it's a Japanese name.
Yeah.
Osama Tezuka.
Yeah, exactly. That's the guy that
Julian.
made, the fuck did he make?
Julian, would you feel bad?
Astro Boy
Yeah.
Kimba.
mean fuck kingdom?
Julian,
What?
would you torture him?
Torture what? The little Osama?
Yeah.
No, because he didn't do anything.
No, but-
Osama's actions were learned. They're not genetically
No, but
in him.
it's a clone of his brain after he did it.
But this Osama didn't do anything.
Yeah, but he's the same guy who did
It
it.
doesn't work that way either.
It does work.
This
that way.
Osama didn't do anything.
Yeah, but
if you
he's.
clone a brain, you're not getting all the information from the brain.
Yeah, you are.
Says who?
This is my fucking logic. in my
Memories
world.
can't
This is
be
why you're not a
transferred.
scientist.
No, I'm not. I'm a.
This is why you're playing video games for a living, Chris.
Asking
This
if.
is why you got called a fucking Freezy Pop.
Okay, imagine he got fucking teleported, right?
Okay.
It's the same fucking
Where
guy.
am I?
Yeah, it's the same guy. He's teleported. It's the
He's in
same
a tiny
fucking
little
guy.
terrarium.
But that wouldn't happen with a clone.
This is fucking not real life. This is in your brain right now.
Basically, are you
Well, then
saying
it would-
Whose brain is it?
Then
Osama's or his brain?
If you're making shit up, then all you have to say is, "Oh, you have the Osama bin Laden."
Of course, I'm making shit up.
you have a small
Well,
Osama
give him
bin
the
Laden?
actual Osama. Why does it have to be a clone? then?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Give him
saying.
the real deal.
No, it's a clone of the real guy, but his brain is the
Chris.
exact same.
Then it's
give
not
him
a
the real-
clone.
No, because
Chris,
it's not
give him the
there.
real
Chris,
Osama.
No, this is part of the logic. Obviously, if he's the
No,
real
if
guy,
it's a
then you-
clone, then he didn't do anything.
he's the
He's
exact
innocent.
same. He's the exact.
No.
Why? Why does it have to be a clone?
Because
It's hypothetical. You can give him the
Obviously.
real one.
Obviously.
If you want the real Osama, give him the real Osama. It's a hypothetical. You don't need a clone.
I'm telling
a clone
you.
isn't innocent.
Chris, it doesn't
You
make
do
sense.
anything. He doesn't have these thoughts.
I'm telling you that if it's the real guy, of course you would torture him. That's why I'm asking if it was a clone.
Who says of course he's going to torture him? Maybe he's more humane than you.
No! If Hitler was in your fucking pocket and you could do whatever you wanted with him, you'd fuck with him because he's
That'd
a
be
bad
funny.
guy.
Why would
It'd be
you?
funny to have around. I would torture him.
I'd pour boiling milk on his face.
It's like monsters in my pocket. It's with Hitler.
Hitler in my pocket. Like a little commercial for
That's
Hitler
what
in my
I'm
pocket.
saying. You guys would fucking have a wild time with it.
I would have a wild time with it.
Would
but
you get
just,
horny to it if you had a little Hitler? in your
Because
pocket
it
when
was-
you put him in your coochie.
Shove him up my pussy.
Yeah.
I'd bring him on a Let's Play.
Hey, say
What do
the
you think?
microphone, help me. Where am I?
You guys didn't answer the question.
You didn't ask a good hypothetical.
This is the hypothetical. If you had
I
a
would
clone of Hitler, would you torture it?
No,
Why
I
not
wouldn't.
just say if you had a tiny little Hitler?
Because
No, listen, if it's a clone, I wouldn't because that person didn't commit
he
the
didn't.
actions.
oh
It's
my
a
god,
genetic clone.
He did.
And if it's a clone, he didn't fucking do anything.
He did do it.
No, because he's an identical clone. He didn't do shit. The actual Hitler did it, Chris.
He actually did it, but this guy did it in his thoughts and in his mind.
No,
He
he didn't.
That's how he
Chris,
perceived
He
it.
didn't do anything
He's
then.
still a bad
You sound
guy.
like-
He's still a bad
You're not
guy.
aware of it.
He's still
if
bad.
he thought about it, he don't know
He's
that.
still evil. He thinks he
Chris.
did it.
Chris,
Chris, your neighbor could be thinking these things too.
Chris, but you're basically you have the same mindset as those people on Tumblr that are like, oh, I think I had wings in another life, therefore I did.
You guys are not listening.
I am listening. You're not making sense. You're not making logical sense.
I am making logical sense. Listen
No,
to
you're
me.
not.
Listen to me one more time. This is exactly how I'm saying it.
Okay,
Okay,
go ahead, explain
This is
yourself.
exactly it.
Explain
if I
yourself.
cloned one of you guys, yes.
Okay.
If I cloned you, Matt, and I killed the real you, now I've got your clone, right?
What?
Stop!
Wait,
Don't
where-
interrupt! Don't interrupt, right? The real clone wakes up in Matt's bed. He doesn't know he's a clone. He thinks
That's
he's
not
the
how
same
clones work,
Oh my
Chris.
god, this is how my fucking clone works.
Then it's not a clone.
This is my
It's a
hypothetical.
thing- It's a fucking homunculus you made up.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What's a homunculus?
It's a tiny little artificial person.
What kind of clone are you talking about?
A clone means that you got their genetic material and you grew a new one from a baby.
Yes, okay, but now imagine it this way. He grew in 1 second. He grew from a baby into a man in
Then
1
he's
second.
still
It's not a clone.
He's
This is
still
a
not
fucking
gonna.
fake
He's
story.
still not gonna have my memories.
Yes, he will.
He's just gonna remember having been born a
I'm
second
saying
ago.
that in this world, the clone still has the memories. I said that from
Then
the
it's
beginning.
not a
He's gonna act like a
Well,
child,
then
too.
what
If
is
grew
he,
up
a
in an
copy?
instant- If he
Yes.
grew up in an instant, he's going to be drooling and he's going to act like
This
a
was
baby.
what the
and
whole
I'm gonna shit my
argument was
pants.
about.
You have a Julian who is drooling and peeing his pants because he's still a child.
Fine.
We already
I should
got
have
that.
fucking said not a clone. He's a fucking perfect copy. Okay.
Yeah, say that.
Okay, there you go.
Fine. He's a perfect copy of Hitler. Would you fucking torture him?
But did he do anything?
Was he the person that committed the crimes?
Did he do anything?
No, he thinks he did.
But he didn't.
Why am I
Chris,
torture someone for thinking?
Chris, in
that
a
they did
criminal
something?
case,
He would still do it if he could.
in a lawsuit, can you in a lawsuit can you like,
He
you know?
also fucking killed himself anyways if he thought he did it.
No, you hide the gun from him.
What?
That's not gonna. He's
You kill him
in a lawsuit. If someone thinks they did something, they didn't do it. That doesn't hold up. Hitler took out he expressed his Second Amendment right and used his pistol and shot himself in the head.
Do you have You don't have a Second Amendment right if you're not a citizen, right?
I don't know. Well, if you're in America.
Would Hitler have the right to use a gun?
Commenters, please let us know.
I'm curious. I don't know if that.
No, I mean, I think if you're in America,
Look, I
'cause,
wouldn't
like,
torture him. That was a joke. But I'm saying that if you had a tiny, perfect copy of Hitler, would you fuck with him?
Why don't you just
wait,
say? Why don't you just say if you had a Hitler himself as a tiny version?
No, it's a copy of him.
No, that I
Why
wouldn't
does
fuck
it
with him because he
matter?
didn't do anything.
No, you're saying he's tiny too. Why is he tiny? He's not a perfect clone anymore.
That's a good point.
Because he's easy to fuck with. If he was fully grown, he could probably grab a knife and kill you.
Hitler would probably say, "Pick out someone your own size,"
And I'd
then
say,
he'd run.
"No!" and
I
I'd
don't
spit
think
on
Hitler
him.
ran around with a knife and tried to kill people either.
He'd run into a little mouse hole in the wall.
Child plays, not Chucky.
I'm pretty sure. Listen, if you were locked in a room with Hitler and it was just you and him and you were fucking with him, he'd probably want to get out. And if you wouldn't let him, he'd kill you.
No, he'd be confused as fuck because he just time traveled. He time traveled.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he wouldn't know what anything is.
Listen to me.
Do you think he's healthy, Chris? Do you think he probably? I think he smoked and drank a lot.
Hey, Matt. The fucking copy
Does
of
any of
Hitler
that-
has perfect health.
Yeah, does that any of that go? Okay,
Chris,
perfect health.
Chris, if he's tiny, he could just run into a little mouse hole in the wall and I wouldn't see him.
No,
again.
you're in a perfectly fucking
it's like
sealed
Tom and
white
Jerry.
room with no doors or windows.
Why? Where is this situation coming from?
This is the most elaborate spot to be in.
You teleported in there so neither of you could get out until you
What's
push the
happening?
button. Until you push the
about?
button on your watch.
Why are you so passionate about this?
I'm not. I'm just wondering.
Listen, you're trapped in a floating castle in the sky. There's no doors, no windows. It's filled halfway with water, and there's a tiny little Hitler who has all the same memories, no health problem.
And Rick Moranis is on the television in the corner.
More anus?
Rick Moranis.
More anus.
That's the guy from
Woody
Honey, I
Allen's on the TV, and little Hitler's getting a little bit peeved, but he isn't quite too sure why. And he also has a tiny little dagger.
He does not have
But
a
you
tiny
have
little
two
dagger.
matches in your hand and your wallet. 27 cents inside.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Julian,
This is too funny.
if you see Hitler in there,
Okay, I'll let him.
Is it Hitler or is it a
I'll let
perfect
him
copy? Is it
know.
a clone?
it's a
What is
perfect
it?
copy.
If I
And
see
he's
Hitler
fucking
in
6
there,
inches.
I'll let him know that
That's not a perfect copy!
It is. It's just
A
small.
perfect copy
6
would be
inches.
a
He's not a
height.
perfect fucking copy.
God, you guys.
Perfect means
You
perfect!
guys don't have an imagination at all.
I do. It's not. It doesn't make sense though.
It does fucking make sense.
You're making up the meaning of words. Perfect copy means he's a perfect copy.
If I fucking
Not
said,
that he's 6 inches
if
tall.
I fucking said, what if you were in Harry Potter world? You would have eaten it up. You would
If
have
you said to
accepted
somebody,
it.
oh, it's a perfect copy of Harry Potter, they wouldn't imagine he's 6 inches tall, would they?
I fucking said from the fucking beginning that he was fucking small.
But he's not a.
He's not a perfect copy.
Yes, he just got shrunk down after he was perfectly copied.
What the fuck is going on in the game?
Holy
This
shit.
is the worst hypothetical.
It's not. It was a good one.
No, it wasn't,
No, it
Chris. I'm
wasn't.
sorry, but it wasn't.
You guys are fucking dumb.
What?
Okay. So,
My God.
we disagree with your hypothetical, and so we're fucking dumb.
You just don't understand it.
You just don't
I do understand
Listen,
it.
When I make up new definitions for words and you guys don't understand it, you're fucking idiots. What can I say?
And I do understand it perfectly. what you're
I
saying.
will
It
admit,
just doesn't-
okay, I will admit that me saying
will
clone,
admit, I went a little too far.
me saying clone was the only understandable thing. But
You
then,
said perfect copy! And 6 inches tall!
Yes!
That's not the same thing!
And he has
I
perfect
let it
health,
up
but he
with-
hasn't committed anything he's done. But he's got the same memories, and he's 6 inches tall in a white room with no doors or no windows.
yes, and you have
How are you supposed to fucking breathe then?
Yeah, you guys
got a fucking breath
I'm
mask
more
on
worried
and an
about
oxygen
that.
tank.
What?
Keep adding shit.
So wait, are you going to eventually fucking die anyways?
Why are you
I'm more
guys
concerned about that?
Why
I'm
are you
concerned about
guys
Tiny
so
Hitler.
focused on the stupid details?
You're the one bringing up the
He's gonna come
stupid
at you with a
details.
knife. If he's 6 inches, he's the size of a
You're the
knife.
one-
How's he gonna come after
This
your
takes
knife?
it takes place in 12th century Romania too.
It takes place in fucking 2017.
Does he have a centimeter knife? He's 6 inches tall. How's he gonna take a knife and go at
Why
me
does
with
that
it?
even matter?
Because you brought that up too.
What,
You
Marta?
said you need to torture him, otherwise he's gonna come at you with a knife. He's the fucking size of a knife. What's he gonna do?
I said,
drag it behind
I
him?
said if
He's
he
gonna
was
fall
big,
over, and he's a
he would
lovable
come at
goofball. I'm
you.
not gonna do anything.
If he was big, he'd come at you with a knife. If he's small, he wouldn't because he couldn't defend himself.
I'd make little play sets for him and film it and make
he's a
ad
perfect
revenue on
copy. He's not gonna
YouTube.
just go after you with a knife. That's
All
not
I
his
asked
first
was,
instinct.
would you do fucked
I'm
up shit
trapped in
to
a
him?
room with Hitler. He's gonna worry about survival. He's fucking suffocating.
He's gonna
with
wonder
me.
where his regime went, like what's going on with his regime
Where's
and
his
shit.
family? He's gonna care about that too. Hit a dog.
Yeah. I didn't ask any of that. I asked, what would you do?
What do you mean? What would I do?
Cry. I'm trapped in a room.
I fucking gave you the choice to be in the room.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You put me in the room with Tiny Hitler.
Look, the
Who's
only,
a perfect clone,
the
but also isn't a
only
perfect clone.
thing I asked,
But he thought he did these things. But he
only
didn't actually do
thing-
these things.
the only thing I asked was,
Can I breathe oxygen?
the only thing I
Are
asked
you gonna
was,
change the rules behind that?
my
too?
God, listen to this
Do
guy.
I need
The
oxygen
only thing I
anymore?
asked was, would you fucking torture a small version of Hitler? No!
Did Donald give me fire powers?
Who?
Donald Duck. Did he give me fire powers yet?
He gave you
Power of
Farah.
fire.
Look, it's the Olympics logo.
Is Simple and Clean playing on the intercom?
Is there an intercom in there too? Is it a perfect copy of an intercom, but it's also smaller than a
There's a
normal
12
intercom system,
kilobyte
but it has
compressed
the memory
copy
of being
of
a normal intercom,
Kyrie on screen.
even though it's not sentient.
Sentient.
It remembers playing the news of JFK's assassination, but that's about it.
Sentient. Yeah, good. A good.
You do
fallback.
that to me every fucking episode.
Because you mispronounce everything horribly.
You just went
you say the or button, and you never correct yourself.
People in the
You
comments,
kept saying
please link
Osama.
support for
He
me.
said,
What started this
You
whole
said
thing was
Osama.
Osama.
Osama in the highest. Said yes or no, but you had to fucking explode
I said
it.
no. We all said no.
We all said
multiple
reason.
times.
By the end of it, you were just asking more questions and adding
Because
to it.
Because it didn't make sense.
confusing to
It made
begin
no
with.
sense. It made zero sense.